Well, we aren't even going to get there physically, so we can't pay them because now we take construction work in the office. It's not unheard of for a guy to spend $30 a day in games. That's $150 a week, $7,500 $150 a week in groceries for a family of four. Pretty reasonable. That's $7,500 a year. Now, my math, if you add up that $75,000, €12,000, you're up to $27,000 for a $30,000.
Thanks for coming, sir.
You got to save for retirement. You got to buy health insurance, and try to go on a vacation, and have a car payment in that damage. Well, that, I mean,
I slept through breakfast today. I've never, ever slept past 7. Never, ever. My internal alarm always goes off, but not today.
If I sit this here, will you watch it, please?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna go grab a drink real quick. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
See, you're part of the yeah, I know. You went to college, but he's going back in the roots. We're getting rid of all the stuff.
My nephew's Jamie Rolls. My nephew's Jamie Rolls. We got enough to go around. That's what she's. But I'm glad to see that. My dad was a water carrier. We were all away from the gas. So this septic back then they made a fitness. Yeah, all the for the fact that I was telling him, I was talking about it. He said, Representative May, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing fine, my dear. Are you going okay?
It is.
This is one of the largest drywall companies. He's one of the largest drywall.
No, I was trying to get drywall on my face. It's been an experience. Not as easy as it looks.
I told him before our training center.
That's right. I did get to the point where I taped it off, instead of that sanding and all that.
She's really just right to the point because
I really will have to tell people.
she's a member of the community. Good to see you. They stay long like walking closets anyway.
How you doing? Good to see you. Sorry back there.
Moving around.
Thank you very much for watching this.
They're gonna have their opportunity to speak. That's a camera. That's all it takes. Somebody like that. This is my son Cameron. He's a fake camera. The operator. Right? I just want to make sure.
We're low,
Got a scope in?
low quality, but we're getting it done. Our second week. I like the ones that they're busy. I don't know that it's an issue. You know?
Your predecessor was also from the very same.
Yeah, that's what they said. I don't know him, but that's what.
You thought that was new lost it?
Yeah. I'm pretty lost too, so.
Yeah, I just need
something that I thought would be
push back to the table.
good for my future and all that.
Yeah.
I like all this stuff. I thought nothing else would just be a fun experience to watch play out.
Yeah.
It's just for me. Are you speaking to them?
I'm got him.
Yeah. You excited?
I'll pass second go around.
That's why I had to use my computer. That's why I left. If I didn't have a computer, about an hour. So it seems like we're going to be here a while. I'm not sure.
Hey, Joe, how are you doing?
Ladies and gentlemen, recess is over. We'll now reconvene, and I would like to hear from Miss Emily Martin.
My name is Emily Martin, and I am, oh, there we are, on now. And
electrical contractor. You think I could have figured that out. But I'm Emily Martin. I'm president of Ashinger Electric Company. We're a electrical and communications contractor in St. Louis, Missouri, and our employees are signatory to IBEW contracts. I also note that I think that I am the first of your witnesses today to be the only one who actually owns a business and has to make payroll, and has also negotiated 2 contracts with unions. So it makes me a little bit unique here today. I'm testifying both on behalf of Ashinger Electric and the St. Louis Chapter National Electrical Contractors Association. Our chapter represents 226 electrical and communication contracting businesses and a workforce of approximately 4,000 electricians and communication technicians. All of our businesses that are members of NECA choose to have our employees be signatory to IBEW contracts. I'm here in opposition to this right-to-work legislation. Right-to-work is an unnecessary and unwanted governmental intrusion into our rights as business people to make business decisions with regard to how we choose to engage with our employees. Our company has always chosen to partner with IBEW for our electrical workers. We do that for a number of reasons, and so do the other contractors that are members of our organization. One of the things that we are able to do by having this collectively bargained agreement is we are able to pool our resources to provide training for our workers. We operate a training school that is state-of-the-art, receives absolutely no federal or state funding, is fully private funded, and provides a 4-year apprenticeship for our electricians so that we train our own workers. I would think it's safe to say we've all talked about how great our union workers are, and I think it's safe to say that the electrical workers in St. Louis are some of the best in the nation. This arrangement allows our businesses to share the cost of that training. I, as an individual business owner, would find it very difficult to be able to put together the sort of teachers and resources and hands-on training that I'm able to provide as part of this larger unit. It also allows us to have a lot of flexibility. Being signatory to IBEW gives us flexibility in our business that's really necessary in the construction trades. Over the past 5 years, we've seen the most devastating economic climate I'm hoping I ever see in my lifetime, and I think that most of us have seen in our working lifetimes, especially in the construction trades. The ability to be able to have a flexible workforce, to tool up when there is more work in the summer, for example, typical construction season, and to tool down and have that pool of available trained workers there is something that, for me as a business owner, is important and is another reason why I choose to employ workers that are signatory to IBEW contracts. We provide health insurance, we provide pension benefits, we provide supplemental unemployment benefits so that workers that are unemployed are not looking as much to the government for help as to money that we've set aside for them in these trust funds. Safety, drug testing, and one of the things that I think fails to get mentioned is that at least 10 large-scale projects that took place in the state of Missouri during this past economic downturn were financed by union pension plans. Those were jobs that were created in this state. Those were taxes that were paid by those workers in this state, materials that were acquired here, businesses like mine that had an opportunity to do work and didn't have to look elsewhere for it. There was some discussion of some numbers, and I think that there's a number bandied about that there's only about 7 to 8% of the private sector is signatory to a union, our union members. It's hard to imagine that 7 to 8% union membership in the state of Missouri is what's holding the state of Missouri back. I mean, that's extremely difficult for me to believe. Hardly a barrier to doing business in Missouri and bringing companies here. The November 2013 unemployment statistics from the Bureau of Labor Statistics, Missouri unemployment was 6.1%. Right-to-work states, Alabama, 6.2, Arkansas, 7.5, Georgia, 7.7, Louisiana, 6.3, Mississippi, 8.3, South Carolina, 7.1, Tennessee, 8.1, all those fine right-to-work states that had higher unemployment levels than the state of Missouri. They also showed higher uninsured rates, higher Medicaid rates, higher SNAP enrollment. Area Development Magazine did a survey in 2010 and asked what drives business and development and site selection. And the biggest drivers are economic development incentives, like we tried with Boeing, corporate subsidies, and corporate tax rates. 20 factors, right to work was the 19th factor on site selection for businesses moving. As a business owner, I appreciate the relationship that I have with both our employees that are union members and the union of which they are members. We've sat across the table, we've negotiated contracts. They understand the concerns that we have as business people. When customers look to us, they want value. They're not buying because we're union or we're non-union. They're buying because we're providing the best value, we're providing productivity, we're providing solutions to their problems. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next, we'd like to hear from Ms. Rachel Payton.
I'm Rachel Payton with Americans for Prosperity, Missouri, and I'm here on behalf of our 55,000 member activists across the state to support this legislation.
Thank you very much. Could we now hear from Mr. Tim Weiss?
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen of the committee. My name is Tim Weiss, and I'm president of TJ Weiss Contracting. We're an interior systems contractor, subcontractor, doing work in the eastern two-thirds of the state of Missouri. We're a union contractor by choice. One of the comments was about being coerced. Look at the size of me. I don't think I've been coerced into a whole lot my whole life. Except maybe a piece of coffee cake or something. I employ about 200 employees. I'm signatory to 4 labor associations, labor organizations, carpenters, the painters, plasterers, and laborers. One of the points was brought out that by Representative Burleson here, that the construction industry or labor unions, if they provide a value to their constituents, they wouldn't see a decline. I buy value. My labor suppliers, which are the labor organizations, they provide me with 3 things that I consider of high value. I get a highly trained and skilled workforce through the apprenticeships. Now, once again, as Ms. Martin said, that's at no cost to the taxpayers. That's all taken care of between labor and management in the collective bargaining process. I have a drug-free workforce. I can guarantee that. That is taken care of through the collective bargaining process. And we're highly safety trained. And I'm going to address the safety comments that were made earlier about the right to work states and go a little bit further into that a little bit later. They bring value to me. Labor unions bring value to me, their customers. A little background about myself. My formal education is I've got a business degree with an emphasis on finance and economics. I came up through the trades. I worked with the tools after college. I carried a carpenter's card. My political leaning is probably on the conservative side. I do believe that government has a place, but it shouldn't. Big government doesn't have a place. It's not necessarily the answer. So going on to the economics of this, historically, all economies have, throughout history, have had a 2-caste system. You got the lower class, you have the upper class. no matter what form of government it was, whether it was a democracy, a kingdom, dictatorship, even communism and socialism, they had the two-caste system. You had haves and have-nots. There was everybody was equal, some were created, had more equal than others. What made America great is we've had a thriving third class, the middle class. We evolved into a three-caste system. The effects of this are pretty profound. My employees, they make $60,000 a year on average. They have health care. They have a pension. They are not requiring any government assistance. They are not a burden on society. They're solidly middle class. They can afford vehicles. They can afford vacations. They can afford hobbies. They can afford going out for fun. All things that drive our economy. They contribute. Now, the right to work legislation and right to work states. I've had the opportunity to be president of our National Contractors Association. With that, I've got to meet numerous people around the country, both open shop and union shops. I sit in a benchmarking group with 8 contractors from around the country. 4 of us are union, 4 of us are open shop. When we benchmark against each other, we meet 3 times a year, and when we benchmark against each other, we open everything. Our finances, it's like a doctor, the best physical you ever had. We go through everything that in our business. We critique each other. So the truth of the matter is, their employees, the open shop employees in Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, their field employees average about $30,000 a year compared to my people at $60,000. They get a small 401k, and they get the opportunity to purchase health care at a reduced rate. Now, let's look at this. The construction industry, we're not a go to one place and, so public transportation is not made for construction. It's not unusual for a construction worker to spend $30 a day in gasoline. It's $150 a week. Put that for a year, that's $7,500 for a year. Now, let's say you have a family of 4, the wife decides to stay home, you're making $30,000 a year. Now, once again, you do have a cost of living difference between states, but I think these numbers pretty well play out whether you're in an open shop, a right to work area, or a high paying area. $1,000 a month for a mortgage and utilities. Probably on the low side, but let's use that. So that's $12,000 a year. Groceries for a family of 4, $150 a week. Does that sound reasonable? I think it is. That's $7,500 a year. So the quick math on those 3 things is $27,000. Fuel, housing, and groceries. We haven't talked about a cost. So you're making $30,000 as a family. So you got $3,000 left over to pay for your health insurance, for your retirement, for your taxes. You sure as heck aren't going to go out to eat. You sure as heck aren't going to be able to go on a vacation. What we're creating is a class of individuals who are going to be further dependent on the government assistance. There is no way that they can